What's up, y'all? Benjamin here. Do a quick video, real quick one. Listen, I was watching some of Sweaty. I just got done working out. I was just watching Piece of the Hobbit the other day. I don't think I put a video. I haven't put a video out in quite some time, a couple weeks now, a couple months really. I was watching a Piece of the Hobbit the other day, and there's if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. There's the point at the I think it's the last section of the trilogy, the first part of the last movie there, and this dragon gets out of the cave. You know, you've seen the show, and he flies down to this village and he starts torching everything, right? And there's a point where this guy, the Bart, the bowman, he's shooting these arrows at the dragon, right, trying to stop him. And his son sees that he's fighting this dragon off, and his arrows are missing. And he goes and he gets the arrow from the house and he brings it to his dad. And he gives it to his father. And his dad's like, "What are you doing here? You know, you should have left, whatever." And the dragon's flying around, and the dragon knocks over the tower that they're in, and his bow breaks, right? And so he makes like this makeshift kind of bow, and he stands his son up on this I don't know, elevated platform, and the dragon's walking towards him, and the dragon's talking all kinds of trash, like, you know, how can you beat me? You can't come against me. You can't stop me. Something like, you know, something like this, and very pompous, very proud, kind of prideful thing. And he yells, he's just like, "You have nothing left but your doom or your death," or something like that. And the boy, he's standing there facing his dad, and the dragon's behind the boy, and as the dragon's running towards them, the boy like turns like this here, like he's going to look back at the dragon, like the dragon's coming. And this is amazing. And I really take this to heart with my son. He tells his son, while he's getting ready to fire this arrow off, he says, "Look at me, son. You look at me." And boy, I thought that was really telling, with everything that's going on in our world today, everything that's going on in my world today. You know, you just kind of see this dragon, which is so telling for so many different reasons. You know, if any of you listen to Jordan Peterson, you listen to him talk a lot about the dragon, right? And fighting off your dragons, fighting off your demons, so to speak, and facing these things. And so this is what this man is doing. He's facing the dragon. He's getting ready to launch off the weapon to defeat the dragon. And his son's looking back at the dragon. You know, this impending doom. This thing's coming in. And he just was like, "Look at me, son. You look at me." And this is what I want to talk about really fast, is that for everybody who's watched any of these videos, you know, I talk things about like divorce, getting through divorce, all kinds of different things, right? And I've been chided recently quite a bit on some of the things that I talk about or post on the internet. I'm no longer on social media. It feels so good being off social media. I'm not on Facebook. I'm not on Instagram. I don't post there anymore. I haven't been on there. I haven't been tempted to be on there. Just scrolling through, wasting my time. I've been reading more. You know, just doing things like this. So, but you know, the divorce that I went through, it's been a year now, August to August. I've been separated now for a couple years, and I realize that this is going to take a couple more years to kind of work through. But the divorce was 1 year ago, and in some ways I handled it well, and I've overcome and I've achieved some things personally that I wanted to, and in other areas I haven't. And so I'm taking this next year, August to August, to really face the dragons, so to speak, that I have to face. It's I'm starting a new line of work here pretty soon. Parenting time as a single parent, overcoming some obstacles that I have that I would say are they don't benefit me or my son for that matter. Staving off some character flaws, I would say, and really trying to wrestle with those, and and overcome them. And I'm actually really excited about it. Parts of me are nervous because, parts of us don't want to overcome the dragons. Parts of us want to be consumed, so to speak, by the whatever it is, our vices, our anger, our letting go of control on some things. Boy, I'm really having to fight that one right now, letting go of control. And just, again, it's that Lord's Prayer. God, help me, just the things that I can't change, the things I can't do anything about. Just release those, over to God. And anyway, for me, that's a big driving force. That was my boy, he's my son. If I didn't have him, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't live in Colorado. I wouldn't live in northern Colorado anymore. I'd be gone. Perhaps I'd be traveling, like I used to. Things like this. But anyway, doubling down on what I know, doubling down on what I believe, doubling down on what I think is the best role as a father, as a single father. And I'm really excited about it. And, I think it's amazing if you just shut off social media. That's half of it. For me, anyway. For me. Just shutting off social media is half of it. And then just really trying to keep this in my head. It's like, look, my boy's watching me. He's watching me. The dragon's coming, so to speak. And my son's watching me. And it's like, okay, son, I know what this looks like, but watch me. Look at me. I'm going to model this, right? And that's kind of how that movie spoke to me in that regard. And so there are things that there's things in me that I need to work on. I need to get better at. I need to embrace the pain, embrace the suck, embrace the suffering of a lot of things, of divorce, of single parenting, of not sure how to be a single parent, and my role as a man in society, my role as a man, as a father, as a single father, in my workplace, things like this, social standings, and so on. So, anyway, I don't know. I've been talking to a fair amount of divorced people recently, like I do, male and female, but then also just encouraging people not to divorce. I know some people that are on the edge of it right now, and it's hilarious to me that people ask my advice because I'm divorced. But I think I know better what not to do, what I could have done different. And oddly enough, some people are finding it helpful. I don't know. So anyway, I think for all of us that have kids, single or not, mother or father, the dragon, so to speak, of life comes, and it's like, watch me, son. Look at me. You look at me. Don't face that stuff. Don't look at that stuff. That's daddy's job. That's mommy's job. And, your kids will have their own dragons to face as they get older. But trying to keep them as kids, children, and innocent as long as you can. And modeling for your children how to face the dragons. And I really want to do that well. And I want to do that better than I have been, I would say. I would say, all things considered, I think I've been doing a pretty good job. But I have room for improvement. So that's what, like, this August to August, kind of setting out a calendar for myself to get myself on track and face my own dragons. We all need to do it. None of us want to, but by the grace of God, there go I, right? So anyway, I hope everybody's doing really well. And I love you guys. I don't know. Reach out and say hi.